Hey y'all, this is a setup video of a Trifold field note size leather traveler's cover notebook that I purchased from Jennifer Harvey, who is chicsparrow.com. This edition of about 24, 26 was made to commemorate the making of her 1000th notebook. My number of that edition is 1002. They sold out very quickly on a Facebook group and in her shop. This edition and its color are no longer available. She has a YouTube video describing this notebook, and so check it out. The Trifold option is available through Contact with Jennifer. You have to send her an email through her Etsy store, and then she can discuss the pricing of Trifold with you in her various notebook sizes. It does include more leather, and so the price will be, there is a price increase. The elastic is threaded through the spine, and I have the Trifold flap on top. You can also cover it this way. I already have a scratch in there, and I made that when I ripped open the package at the mailbox and was holding a key in one of my hands. And don't tell me I'm the only one that does that. So I like to carry it with the flap on top because you can really see the Trifold design. Inside, it is field note size. Inside I have field notes notebooks. In her video on this edition, Jennifer describes how to thread 5 notebooks on one of the elastics. This has one elastic threaded through, and you have the large piece and the smaller piece. All 5 of these, plus a credit card insert that I'm using, are threaded through one elastic. Jennifer got that tip through a commenter on a video, and she shows you how to do that. These field note size notebooks are from fieldnotesbrands.com's latest edition. It's called Unexposed. There are 6 different colors of neon notebooks. You can purchase sets of 3 of them through the Field Notes website, and I want to say it's like $9.95 plus shipping. Their shipping is a little steep, but this edition's pretty cool. It's got that 70s neon going. There are a total of 6 colors available. I have 5 in here. Again, the one that I don't have in here is the neon purple with green lettering. It's those 70s colors, and I really like it. I have a subscription to Field Notes, and so every quarter they send me the full latest edition that they have. Again, these notebooks are packaged in sets of 3. They don't tell you which one you're getting, but it's kind of fun. All of the colors are pretty cool. The paper, it's a dot grid style paper, but it's, rather than dots, it has small crosses, and hopefully that's showing up. The paper is relatively fountain pen friendly. Again, the paper differs from notebook to notebook, from edition to edition, and it differs in the weight and also how it is lined or gridded, or the grid that it has. Some of them are not lined, and that varies. They don't tell you until it comes out. Their notebooks are stapled on the inside. And again, I have 5 in here. Relatively fountain pen friendly, this paper in this edition. I have a couple fountain pen inks, and on the other side I've already written there, and so unfortunately I can't show you. The fountain pen inks did have just a few dots of bleed through, and so I feel comfortable using them in here, along with Pilot Juice and Coletto. Everything's just fine. And so I have the 5 notebooks threaded. And again, as I said, a credit card insert to hold supplies. I'm not interested in using this as a wallet. I just want to use it as a capture-all when I go somewhere. It's small, it's compact. This is now in my bag all of the time. So the credit card insert, again, is being used for supplies. And I'll tell you why I have this decorative tape here in a second. This is from Hobonichi, and I'll put a link to their site below. I will warn you, when I order from the 1101 store that sells Hobonichi, it's all in Japanese. There are a few pages that are translated into English. Some you have to translate yourself. and it's a lot of hoop jumping. But their stuff is interesting. It's different. Here is their version of the credit card insert. It has a very stiff cover, which I trimmed about 1/2 inch on the edge of the front and the back cover because it wasn't fitting well when I closed this flap. So I trimmed the stiff covers, and now it's fine. And you have, at the beginning and at the end, you have a full-size insert pocket. In between, you have about 9 pages that have credit card slots. It was kind of a tight fit with some of my credit cards, but it is workable. And so if you wanted to use this as a wallet, I think you'd be fine. 9 pages of double inserts. The inserts are on one side only, and you access them through the middle, and then you have to, through the middle on one side, you flip the page, and then you access the inserts on the facing page. So in here I have supplies. I have some clear dots. I think these are from Hobonichi, I'm not sure. Some stickies, some more post-it notes, some all-overs. I absolutely love this. These are adhesive dots from Kiki K, and I bought these during a trip. And I want to show you. These are, if you're a crafter, you've got sticky dots and you know how these work. These are very flat little dots of glue. Here we are. You touch the item that you want to adhere to one of the blue dots and you stick it on, and it's got a really good stick. And so I like those in case I have a receipt or something that I have to save that I can refer to quickly within the stuff of the notebook, as opposed to stuffing it in here in a pocket and have it be loose. And so this credit card insert threads around the last 2 field notes notebooks in this cover. And that choice was after some trial and error and finagling so that this would stay in place and would allow room for a DIY pen loop. So going on to the other side of the plastic, here's a few more pages with room to grow for more supplies, what have you. And in the very back is a edition certificate, kind of a certificate of authenticity that Jennifer signed and included. And I think that's really cool when an artisan gets to that point, when they do, when they certificate their work. And so I have that in the back. It's a lot of fun. I really like it and I appreciate it. So I have on this insert, I have wrapped around some fabric tape. It's American Crafts tape, and I bought it at Michael's. It was on sale for like 10 rolls for so many dollars about 2 Christmases ago. Little spools about that big, and it has adhesive on the back. It comes that way. So I put some strips here that wrap around to the outside of the back cover, and also a strip of washi from Hobonichi. It has kind of a luster to it, and that wraps around to the back of the cover as well. The reason for that is to give some friction to the outside. On my Midori notebook and my Traveler's Notebook covers from Jennifer, from Monique, I found that the plastic zip pocket insert, it would slide a lot depending on how many inserts, how many notebook inserts it was wrapping around, and just the placement. I had better luck at keeping it in place and keeping the adjacent notebook inserts in place by putting a small piece of loop Velcro on the spine. With this one, I played around and used some fabric tape and some washi tape. The addition of friction keeps it in place because this spine is very, very slick and it can slide around within the notebook. So, well, these inserts are coming out. We might as well take out all of them. So the elastic right here, and I have all 5 of those inserts threaded on this one, the 5 notebooks, again, plus the credit card insert. So let me show you the credit card insert with all of the elastics, or with all of the friction tapes. there, and there. I have a DIY pen loop, and it doesn't come with the pen loop. That option wasn't available. It kind of bugged me. I want a pen loop. I mean, it didn't bug me that it wasn't in the cover, but I just felt that I needed to have a pen with this. It wasn't necessary. I can fold the notebooks. I can fold the cover, and it's snug enough that when you close it, when you wrap around the elastic closure, the pen does not move. It doesn't come out. Being that I wanted to have a pen in here, what would happen is that when I would open the notebook, the pen, it was loose. And sometimes I write standing up, and if I were to do that, if I was on the go, I was concerned that the pen would fly off. So I grabbed a large Oli clip, and these are always helpful to have around, and I attached it to the back of one of the pages, or a group of the pages. Put the pen in there, played with this. This clip is kind of bulky, and so I generally have it pointed up. I do that, close it, and it fits in there, and then when I open it, the pen does not fly out. And so that's been working pretty well. My favorite Pilot Juice 0.5 pen in coffee brown. If you've seen my other videos, you know that this is my absolute favorite pen. The color in this Pilot Juice series dries pretty quickly. Some of the colors don't. Some other reviewers have said that in their videos and in their blogs. For some reason, I don't have an issue with this one. I'm also using a Neon Coral Lamy Safari. It fits in there pretty well with some playing. The Pilot Juice, though, fits better. I also tried for a pen loop, and this works, but this is a little easier. This is a placeholder that you use for knitting and crochet patterns, and I bought these at a Stitches West knitting convention, and if you're a knitter or a do crochet, you know what that's about. It's just thick magnetic tape that has ribbon, satin ribbon glued on the back. You have a knitting pattern, and it's a placeholder. You have lines close together of the stitch, directions, and this holds your place. And I bought it from a vendor, let's see, what's it called? Slip Stitch Studios. They're on Etsy, and I can't remember how much they cost. It was a couple of years ago. But I took one, so what I did is I took one that was smaller, and I trimmed off about 1 inch from both ends so that I could thread it around the interior of one of the Field Notes inserts. And I could use that as a pen loop by doing this, clipping it around. There is no magnet at the middle fold, and so that makes it ideal for a pen to go in here. Let's see if I can get this done. Move this up here, that there. Bear with me just a second. Okay, and this, you still have a large loop here, a large fabric loop. I could trim this more and would get closer. I might do that, I don't know. So a thick magnet strip might work for you. I think you could DIY this pretty easily. Just get some satin ribbon, glue it on the back. This is not the standard magnetic strip thickness. This is about 2 millimeters thick, the magnet is. So give that a go too. And so in the back, I have my little friction strips going around. This has really been working well. There was a definite difference in just the feel and the compactness of the notebooks before I put these strips on and after. And so that's been working pretty well. So let's take this apart, and I'll show you, I'll demo for you Jennifer's demonstration of how to put 5, or in my case 6 inserts on one string. Let me see if I can do this. I'm doing it upside down, bear with me. And she did include a handful of blue elastics that fit the inserts and this field note size cover very, very well. So let's see. Okay, I'll take this out. See if I can do this upside down. Okay, so this goes like this. Okay, so we have, okay, five notebooks. Okay, so you're going to take two, and just like you would in a regular size, in a Midori cover or another Midori size or larger notebook, you do this. And Kate Bernasconi, who is KT BTS on YouTube, shows how to do this as well. Two together with one rubber band. You take the next two. Okay, these are already done. And do the same thing. You lay those on top. You put an elastic, and again, Jennifer has this in her video, and I'm so glad she did that. Her demo is probably a lot clearer than this, but so you put an elastic around the two. You have two on the bottom that are looped together, two on the top that are looped together, and now this is the thing that is different. You take the top two notebooks, squeeze them together. The bottom two notebooks, squeeze them together, and then you have this configuration. It looks the same as what you did when you linked the two together, the two on the top and the two on the bottom, but you are clipping the notebooks together in a little slightly different way. So pretend this is just a regular leather notebook, a Midori, long elastic, thread it through, and like a leather standard size Midori cover, lather, rinse, repeat, bleh. What do you have left? You have the middle, and which is the same elastic, and so you can take your fifth notebook and thread that through. And this is 2mm elastic. Works very, very well. And Jennifer has another video that shows you how you can switch out your elastics. That just came out. Also very helpful. So, voila, 5 notebooks. So I have this credit card insert that I'm using to hold supplies with frictions called friction strips all the way across the outside of the cover. And here's the Hobonichi name for this, Tools and Toys. So I'm going to take this, I'm opening it in the middle, and you can see I did the same thing. I put a few more short strips of friction tape. I cut them short so that they would not interfere with the opening of the pockets. They're on this side of the page. Again, the slots for the opposite side. Oh, this is the middle one, so you have slots on both sides. So anyway, again, I put short strips of fabric tape, adhesive fabric tape here, made them shorter so that they wouldn't interfere with the opening in these pockets. That's the middle. And through, again, a lot of trial and error, I found what works well is if I wrap this around the last two notebooks. Again, same elastic, but just threading this around like you would in a Midori or something else. There you have it. The short elastic is just by itself. I don't put anything on there. The cover elastic was loose for my purposes, so I just pulled it out, and I just tied a second knot. Hopefully you can see that. I tied a second knot closer to the first. I didn't bother untying it and reknotting it, and I just put in an extra knot. And so we fold this up. Okay, the pen. And let's see here. We're going to take this, and to accommodate the thickness, the width of the pen with the clip. I found the best place, and you know, this is part of the stationery geekdom, right? Is playing with your stuff and figuring out what works. So I think I did this on this, in this place in the notebook. So you just wrap that around, grab some pages, and once this is set up properly, it does not come apart, and you're not doing this every time you open and close. So that's there, not going anywhere. Close the whole business set. Try to find, I put this vertically so it doesn't interfere with the fold. Close it up. Get everything in place. Once it's there, again, it doesn't move. There, that's it. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will put links for Jennifer's Etsy shop and for the Hobonichi shop, and also the Field Notes notebook. If you want these fluorescent notebooks, I suggest you not dawdle, because special edition, the quarterly editions tend to sell out very quickly. And I think because this is so different from anything else that they've issued in the past, i.e. the neon colors, I think they will go fast. Field Notes usually stocks their standard notebooks, which have a brown craft cover. Another standard stock item is the same size notebooks with a black cover. Those are always available. Check the paper width and the paper configuration to see if that's what you want. You'll see some that are lined, some that are blank, some that have a dot grid. So check it out. It's a lot of fun. And again, if you want this notebook, this edition is not available. This color is gone. But you can get a trifold in this size and in the other sizes that Jennifer's carrying. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and you take care.